Good evening. Welcome to Venice Nightly News. I'm Liz Delaney. In top stories tonight, heated debates continue about the ethics of usury between our local moneylenders and merchants. And speaking of merchants, our ongoing wild weather is wreaking havoc on their international trade. And across the sea in Belmont, we're keeping a close eye on the love life of one Portia. Potential suitors have flocked from near and far to try their luck with the very rich and very eligible heiress. Now over to you, Gail, with the weather.
So I told Margaret she'll just have to write the report herself. Antonio!
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you. How I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff 'tis made of, wherefore it is born, I am to learn. Oh, it's such a want-wit sadness makes of me that I have much ado to know myself.
Your mind is tossing on the ocean, there where your argosies with portly sail, like seigneurs or rich burghers on the flood, or, as it were, the pageants of the sea. Their petty traffickers, that mercy to them, do them reverence as they fly by with their woven wings.
Believe me, sir, had I such ventures forth, the better part of my affections would be with my hopes abroad. I should be still plucking the grass to know where sits the wind, and peering into maps for ports and piers and roads, and every object that might make me fear misfortune to my ventures, out of doubt would make me sad.
My wind cooling my broth would blow me to an ague when I thought what harm a wind too great might do at sea. I should not see the sandy hourglass run, but I should think of shallows and of flats, and see my wealthy Andrew docked in sand, veiling her high top lower than her ribs to her burial. Should I go to church and see the holy edifice of stone, and not be thinking straight of dangerous rocks, which, touching but my gentle vessel's side, would scatter her spices on the stream, and robe the roaring waters with my silks, and, in a word, even now worth this and now worth nothing. Shall I have the thought to think on this, or shall I lack the thought to think on this, that such a thing but chance to make me sad? But tell not me. I know Antonio is sad to think upon his merchandise.
Believe me, no. I thank my fortunes for it. My ventures are not in one bottom trusted, nor to one place, nor is the whole of my estate to the fortune of this present year. Therefore, my merchandise makes me not sad.
Why then you are in love?
Oh, fine.
Oh, why not in love neither? Well, then let us say that you are sad because you are not merry, and 'twere as easy for you to laugh and leap and say you are merry because you are not sad. Now by two-headed Janets, nature hath framed strange fellows in her time, some that will evermore peep through their eyes and laugh like parrots at a bagpiper. Of such vinegar aspect that thou will not show their teeth in way of smile, though Nestor swear the jest be laughable. Hey! Here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman, Gratiano and Lorenzo. There you are. We leave you now with better company.
Oh. I would have stayed till I'd made you merry had better company not prevented me.
Oh, your worth is very dear in my regard. I take it your own business calls on you. You embrace the occasion to depart.
Good morrow, my good lords.
Oh, good signors both, when shall we laugh? Say when. You grow exceeding strange, must it be so?
We'll make our leisures to attend on yours.
Lord Bassanio, since you found Antonio, we too will leave you. But at dinner time, I pray you have in mind where we must meet.
I will not fail you.
You look not well, Signor Antonio. You have too much respect upon the world. They lose it that do buy it with much care. Believe me, you are marvellously changed.
I hold the world but as the world, Gratiano. A stage where every man must play a part. Mine a sad one.
Oh, let me play the fool! With mirth and laughter, let old wrinkles come. Let my liver rather heat with wine than my heart cool with mortifying groans. Look, why should a man whose blood is warm within sit like his grandson in alabaster, sleep when he wakes, and creep into the jaundice by being peevish? God, I'll tell thee what, Antonio, I love thee, and 'tis my love that speaks. There are a sort of men whose visages do cream and mantle like on a standing pond, and do a wilful stillness entertain, with purpose to be dressed in an opinion of wisdom, gravity, profound conceit, as who should say, I am Sir Oracle, and when I open my lips, let no dog bark. Oh, my Antonio, I do know of these that therefore only are reputed wise for saying nothing, when I am very sure that if they should speak, would almost damn those ears, upon hearing them would call their brothers fools. I'll tell thee more of this another time, but fish not with this melancholy bait. For this full gudgeon, this opinion, come, good Lorenzo, fare you well a while. I'll end my exhortation after dinner.
Well, we will leave you then till dinner time. I must be one of these same dumb wise men, for Gratiano never lets me speak.
Well, keep me company for 2 years more. Thou shalt not know the sound of thine own tongue.
Fare thee well. Is that anything now?
Gratiano speaks an infinite deal of nothing. More than any man in all of Venice. His reasons are as 2 grains of wheat hidden in 2 bushels of chaff. You could seek all day ere you find them, and when you have them, they're not worth the search.
Cheers. Well, tell me now, what lady is the same to whom you swore a secret pilgrimage, that you today promised to tell me of?
Tis not unknown to you, Antonio, how much I have disabled mine estate by something showing a more swelling port than my faint means would grant continuance. Nor do I now make moan to be abridged from such a noble rate, but my chief care is to come fairly off from the great debts wherein my time, something too prodigal, hath left me gauged. To you, Antonio, I owe the most in money and in love, and from your love I have a warranty to unburden all my plots and purposes, how to get clear of all the debts I owe.
I pray you, Bassanio, let me know it. For if it stand as you yourself still do within the eye of honor, rest assured, my purse, my person, my extremest means lie all unlocked to your occasions.
In my school days, when I had lost a shaft, I shot his fellow the self-same flight, the self-same way, with more advised watch to find the other fourth, and by adventuring both, I oft found both. I urge this childhood proof, because what follows is pure innocence. I owe you much, and like a willful youth, that which I owe is lost. But if you please to shoot another arrow that self-same way which you did shoot the first, I don't doubt, as I will watch the aim, or to find both, or bring your latter hazard back again, and thankfully rest debtor for the first.
You know me well, and herein spend but time to wind about my love with circumstance. Out of doubt, you do me now more wrong in making question of my uttermost than if you had made waste of all I have. Then do but say to me what I should do, that in your knowledge may by me be done, and I'm pressed unto it. Therefore speak.
In Belmont is a lady richly left, and she is fair. and fairer than that word, of wondrous virtues. Sometimes from her eyes I did receive fair speechless messages. Her name is Portia. Nothing undervalued to Cato's daughter, Brutus's Portia. Nor is the wide world ignorant of her worth, for the four winds blow in from every coast renowned suitors. Oh, my Antonio, had I but the means to hold a rival place with one of them, I have a mind presages me such thrift that I should questionless be fortunate.
Thou knowest that all my fortunes are at sea. But neither have I money or commodity to raise a present sum. Therefore go forth. Try what my credit can in Venice do, or that shall be racked to the uttermost to furnish thee to Belmont, to fair Portia. Go, presently inquire, and so will I, where money is, and I no question make to have it, of my trust, for my sake.
By my troth, Nerissa, my little body is aweary of this great world.
You would be, sweet madam, if your miseries were in the same abundance as your good fortunes are. Yet for aught I see, they are as sick that surfeit with too much as those that starve with nothing. There's no mean happiness, therefore, to be seated in the mean. Superfluity comes sooner by white hairs, but competency lives longer.
Good sentences and well pronounced.
They would be better if well followed.
If to do were as easy to know what were good to do, chapels have been churches and poor men's cottages, princes' palaces. There's a good divine that follows his own instructions. I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done than to be one of the 20 to follow mine own teaching. The brain may devise laws for the blood, but a hot temper leaps o'er a cold decree. Such a hair is madness, the youth, to skip o'er the meshes of good counsel, the cripple. But this reasoning is not in the fashion to choose me a husband. Ah, me, the word choose. I may neither choose who I would, nor refuse who I dislike. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. Is it not hard, Nerissa, that I cannot choose one nor refuse none?
Your father was ever virtuous, and holy men at their deaths have good inspirations. Therefore, the lottery that he hath devised with these 3 chests of gold, silver, and lead, whereby who chooses his meaning chooses you, will never be rightly chosen by one whom you shall rightly love. What warmth is there in your affections towards any of these princely suitors who are already come?
I pray thee overname them, and as thou namest them, I will describe them, and according to my description, level at my affection.
First, there is the Neapolitan prince.
Why, that's a colt indeed, for he doth nothing but talk of his horse. And he makes it great appropriation to his own good parts that he can shoe him himself. I much feared my lady, his mother, played false with the smith.
Then there is the County Palatine.
Well, he doth nothing but frown, as who should say, and you will not have me choose. He hears merry tales and smiles not. I fear he will prove the weeping philosopher when he grows old, being so full of unmanly sadness in his youth. I'd rather be married to a death's head, whip a bone in his mouth, than to either of these. God defend me from these two.
What say you then to the French lord, Monsieur le Bon?
God made him, and therefore let him pass for a man? In truth, I know it is a sin to be a mocker, but he had the horse better than the Neapolitans, a better bad habit of frowning than the Count Palatine. He is every man in no man. If I should marry him, I should marry 20 husbands. If he would despise me, I would forgive him, for if he loved me to madness, I shall never requite him.
What say you then to Falconbridge, the young Baron of England?
You know, I say nothing to him, for he understands me not, nor I him. Oh, he's a proper man's picture, but alas, who can converse with a dumb show?
What think you then of his neighbour, the Scottish laird?
That he had a neighbourly charity in him, and for he borrowed a box of the ear of the Englishman and swore he would pay him again when he was able. I think the Frenchman became his surety and sealed under for another.
What say you then to the young German, the Duke of Saxony's nephew?
Very vilely in the morning when he is sober, and most vilely in the afternoon when he is drunk. When he's best, he's little worse than a man, and when he is worst, he's little better than a beast.
If he should offer to choose, and choose the right casket, you should refuse to perform your father's will if you should refuse to accept him.
Therefore, for fear of the worst, I pray thee set a deep glass of Rhenish wine on the contrary casket, for if the devil be within and the temptation without, I know he will choose it. I will do anything, Marissa, ere I be married to a sponge.
You need not fear, lady, the having of any of these lords. They have acquainted me with their determinations, which are indeed to return to their homes and to trouble you with no more suit, unless you may be won by some other sort than your father's imposition, depending on the caskets.
If I live to be as old as Sibylla, I will die as chaste as Diana, unless I be obtained by the manner of my father's will. Oh, I am glad this parcel of woes are so reasonable, for there is not one among them but I dote on his very absence, and I pray God grant them a fair departure.
Do you not remember, lady, in your father's time, a Venetian, a scholar and a soldier that came hither in the company of the Marquis of Montferrat?
Yes, it was Bassanio. As I think so was he called.
True, madam. He of all the men my foolish eyes did ever set upon was the best deserving of fair lady.
I remember him well, and I remember him deserving of such praise. How now, what news? The 4 strangers seek for you, madam, to take their leave. And there is a forerunner come from a 5th, who brings word the prince, his master, the Prince of Morocco, comes here tonight. If I could bid the 5th welcome with so good a heart as I can bid the other 4 farewell, I should be glad of his approach. If he have the condition of a saint and the complexion of a devil, I'd rather he would shrive me than wive me. Come, Nerissa. Sarah, go before. Whilst we shut the gate upon one wooer, another knocks at the door.
$3,000 ducats. Well,
Aye, sir, for 3 months.
for 3 months? Well,
For the which, as I told you, Antonio shall be bound.
Antonio shall become bound. Well,
You stead me. Shall I know your answer?
3,000 ducats for 3 months and Antonio bound.
Your answer to that.
Antonio is a good man.
Had you heard any imputations to the contrary?
Oh, no. My meaning in saying he is a good man is to have you understand me that he is sufficient. Yet, his means are in supposition. He had an argosy bound to Tripolis, another to the Indies. I understand, moreover, upon the Rialto, he had a 3rd to Mexico, a 4th for England, and other ventures had he squandered abroad. But ships are but boards, sailors are but men. There be land rats and water thieves and land thieves. I mean, pirates.
Oh,
Yes. the man is notwithstanding sufficient. 3,000 ducats. I think I may take his bond.
be assured you may.
Oh, I will be assured I may, and that I may be assured I will bethink me. May I speak with Antonio?
Oh, if it please you to dine with us?
Oh, yes, to smell pork. To eat of the habitation your prophet, the Nazarite, conjured the devil into. I will buy with you, sell with you, I will talk with you, walk with you, and so following. But I will not eat with you, drink with you, nor pray with you. What news on the Rialto? Who is it who comes here?
Oh, this is Senor Antonio.
How like a fawning publican he looks. I hate him, for he is a Christian, but more for that in low simplicity he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usance with us here in Venice. If I catch him once on the hip, I will feed fat that ancient grudge I bear him. He hates our sacred nation, and he rails, even there where merchants most do congregate, on me, my bargains, and my well-won thrift, which he calls interest. Cursed be my tribe, if I forgive him.
Shylock, what do you hear?
I am debating my present store, and by the nearest guess of memory, it cannot instantly raise up the gross at full 3,000 ducats. But what of that? Tubal, a wealthy Hebrew of my tribe, she will furnish me. But, soft, how many months do you desire? God rest you, good Senor. Your worship was the last man in our mouths.
Shylock. Albeit I neither lend nor borrow, by taking nor by giving of excess, but to supply the ripe wants of my friend, I will break a custom. Bassanio, see yet possessed of what you would.
Aye, 3,000 ducats.
And for 3 months?
Oh, I had forgot. 3 months. You told me so. Well then, your bond. And let me see, but hear you. Methought you said you never lend nor borrow upon advantage.
I do never use it.
When Jacob grazed his uncle Laban's sheep, this Jacob from our holy Abraham, as his wise mother wrote in his behalf, was the third possessor. Aye, he was the third.
And what of him? Did he take interest?
No, not take interest, not as you would say directly, interest. But mark what Jacob did. When Laban and himself were compromised that all the eanlings which were streaked and pied should fall as Jacob's hire, the skillful shepherd peeled me certain ones and stuck them up before the fulsome ewes, who, then conceiving, did in eaning time fall party-coloured lambs. And those were Jacob's. This was a way to thrive, and he was blessed, and thrift is blessing if men steal it not.
This was a venture, sir, Jacob served for, a thing not in his power to bring to pass, but swayed and fashioned by the hand of heaven. Was this inserted to make interest good, or is your gold and silver ewes and rams?
I cannot tell. I make it breathe as fast. But note me, Signor.
Mark you this, Bassanio. The devil can cite scripture for his purposes. An evil soul producing holy witness is like a villain with a smiling cheek, a goodly apple, rotten to the heart. Now, what a goodly outside falsehood hath.
3,000 ducats. It's a good round sum. 3 months from 12, let us see the rate.
Well, Shylock, shall we be beholden to you?
Beholden. Signor Antonio, many times and oft on the Rialto, you have rated me about my monies and my usances. Still, I have borne it with a patient shrug, for sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You call me misbeliever, cutthroat dog, and spit on my Jewish gabardine, and all for use of that which is mine own. Well then, now appears you need my help. Go to then. You come to me and you say, Shylock, we would have monies. You say so. You that did void your room upon my beard and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur over your threshold. Monies is your suit. What should I say to you? Should I not say, that's a dog money? Is it possible a cur can lend 3,000 ducats? Oh, shall I bend low? Oh, and in the bondsman's key, with bated breath, whispering humbleness, say this: fair sir, you spit on me Wednesday last. Another day, you called me dog, you spurned me such a day, and for these courtesies, I'll lend you that much money.
I always like to call thee so again, to spit on thee again, to spurn thee too. If thou wilt lend this money, lend it not as to thy friend. Since when did friendship take a breed for barren metal of his friend? Lend it rather to thine enemy. If he break, thou mayest with better face exact the penalty.
Oh, look you how you storm, huh? I would be friends with you and have your love. Forget the shames that you have stained me with. Supply your present wants. Take no doit of usance for my monies, and you'll not hear me. This is kind I offer.
This were kindness.
This kindness will I show. Go with me to a notary, seal me there your single bond, and in a merry sport, if you repay me not on such a day in such a place, that sum or sums as are expressed in the condition, let the forfeit be nominated for an equal pound of your fair flesh to be cut off and taken in what part of your body pleaseth me.
Contingent faith. I will seal to this bond and say there is much kindness in the Jew.
You shall not seal to such a bond for me. I'll rather dwell in my necessity.
I fear not, man. I will not forfeit it. But within these next 2 months, that's a full month before this bond expires, I do expect return of thrice 3 times the value of this bond.
Oh, Father Abraham, what these Christians are, huh? Whose own hard feelings make them suspect the thoughts of others. No. Pray, you, tell me this. If he should break his day, what should I gain by the exaction of the forfeiture? A pound of man's flesh taken from a man is no estimable, not as profitable neither as flesh of muttons and beefs or goats. I say, to buy his favor, I extend this friendship, if he will take it. So, if not, adieu. And for my love, I pray you wrong me not.
Yes, Shylock, I will seal to this bond.
Good. Then meet me forthwith at the notary's. Give him direction for this merry bond, and I will go and purse the ducat straight, see to my house, left in the fearful guard of an unthrifty knave. Presently, I'll be with you.
Hie thee, gentle Jew. Hebrew will turn Christian. He grows kind.
I like not fair terms and a villain's mind.
Ah, come on. In this there can be no dismay. My ships come home a month before the day.
احلى جايزه حبيبي يا ابو سليمان حبيبي الله يخليك رايحين نخطب نشوف شو الله بحكي معك يعني mislike me not for my complexion, the shadowed livery of the burnished sun, to whom I'm neighbor and near bred. Bring me the fairest creature in Oathwaite born, where Phoebus, Phaeus, cares those the icicles, and let us make incision for your love, to prove whose blood is reddest, his or mine. I tell thee, lady, this aspect of mine hath feared the valiant. By my love, I swear, the best regarded virgins of our claim have loved it too. I would not change this who, except to steal your thoughts, my gentle queen.
In terms of choice, I'm not solely led by nice direction of a maiden's eyes. Besides, the lottery of my destiny bars me the right of voluntary choosing. But if my father had not scanted me and hedged me by his wit to yield myself his wife, who wins me by that means I told you, yourself, renowned prince, then stood as fair as any comer I've looked on yet for my affection.
Well, even for that, I thank you. Therefore, I pray you, lead me to the casket to try my fortune. By my scimitar that slew the Sophie and the Persian prince, that won 3 fields of Sultan Solomon, I would scare this earnest eye that looks outraged, the heart's most daring on the earth. Yeah, like the young sucking cubs from the she-bear. Yeah, like the lion when he roars for prey. To win thee, lady. But alas the while, if Hercules and Lyches play at dice, which is the better man, the greater throw, may turn by fortune from the weaker hand. So may I, blind fortune leading me, miss that which one is unworthy of me attain, and die with grieving.
Oh, well, you must take your chance and either not attempt to choose at all,
What, Annie?
Or you choose. If you choose wrong, never to speak to lady afterward in way of marriage. Therefore be advised.
No, will not. Come, bring me into my chance.
Certainly my conscience will serve me to run from this Jew, my master. The fiend is at mine elbow and tempts me, saying to me, Gobbo, Lancelot, Gobbo, good Lancelot, or good Gobbo, or good Lancelot, Gobbo. Use thy legs, takes a start, run away. My conscience says, no, take heed, honest Lancelot. Take heed, honest Gobbo. Or, as aforesaid, honest Lancelot, Gobbo, do not run. Scorn running with thy heels. Well, the most courageous fiend bids me pack. Via, says the fiend. Away, says the fiend. For the heavens rouse up a brave mind, says the fiend. And run. My conscience, hanging about the neck of my heart, says very wisely to me, my honest friend Lancelot, being an honest man's son. My conscience says, Lancelot, budge not. Budge, says the fiend. Budge not, says my conscience. Conscience! Say I. You counsel well. Oh, fiend, you counsel well. To be ruled by my conscience, I should stay with the Jew, my master, who, God bless the mark, is a kind of devil. To be ruled by the fiend, I should run away from the Jew. And to run away from the Jew and be ruled by the fiend, saving your reverence, is the very devil himself. Certainly the Jew is the very devil incarnation. And in my conscience is but a kind of hard conscience to offer to counsel me to stay with the Jew. The fiend offers the better counsel. I will run, fiend. Oh, my heels are at your command. I will run.
Young man, you, and pray you, which is the way to master Jews?
Heavens. It is my truly begotten father, who being more than sandblind, high gravel blind, knows me not. I will try confusions with him.
Master, young man, young gentleman, I pray you, which is the way to master Jews?
Ah, well, turn up on your right hand at the next turning, but at the very next turning of all on your left. Oh, marry, at the very next turning, turn of no hand, but turn down and directly to the Jew's house.
Begod, Santies, to be a hard way to hit. Can you tell me whether one Lancelot that dwells with him or no?
Talk you of young Master Lancelot? Mark me now. Now I will raise the waters. Talk you of young Master Lancelot?
Oh, no master, young gentleman, but a poor man's son. His father, though I say it, is an honest exceeding poor man, and God be thanked, well to live.
Ah, let his father be what he will. We talk of young Master Lancelot.
Of Master Lancelot, and to please your mastership.
Ergo, Master Lancelot, talk not of Master Lancelot, father, for the young gentleman, according to fates and destinies, is indeed deceased, or as you would say in plain terms, gone to heaven.
Mary, God forbid! Oh, the boy was the very staff of my age, my very prop.
Oh. Do I look like a cudgel or hovel post, a staff or a prop? Do you know me, father?
That day, young gentleman. I know you not, but I pray you tell me, is my boy, God rest his soul, alive or dead?
Do you not know me, father?
Like the day I am sand blind, I know you not.
No, indeed. If you had your eyes, you might fail of the knowing me. It is a wise father that knows his own child. Well, old man, I will tell you news of your son. Give me your blessing.
Pray you, sir, stand up. I'm sure you are not Lancelot, my boy.
I pray you, let's have no more fooling about it, but give me your blessing. I am Lancelot, your boy that was, your son that is, your child that shall be.
I cannot think you are my son.
I know not what I should think of that, but I am Lancelot, the Jew's man, and I am sure that Marjorie, your wife, is my mother.
Her name is Marjorie indeed. I be sworn, if thou be Lancelot, thou art my own flesh and blood. Oh, Lord worship mighty be. Oh, what a beard hast thou got! Oh, thou hast got more hair on thy chin than Dobbin my fair horse has on his tail.
Oh, it should seem then that Dobbin's tail grows backward. I'm sure he had more hair of his tail than I have of my face when last I saw him.
Lord, how art thou changed? How doth you and your master agree? Oh, I brought him a present. How agree you now?
Well, but since I have set up my rest to run away, so I will not rest until I have run some ground. My master is a very Jew. Give him a present. Give him a halter. I am famished in his service. You may tell every finger I have by my ribs. Ooh. Oh, father, I am glad you are come. Give me your present to one Master Bassanio, who indeed gives rare new liveries. If I serve not him, I will run as far as God has any ground. Oh, rare fortune. Here comes the man. To him, father, for I am a Jew, if I serve the Jew any longer.
You may do so, but let it be hastened that supper be prepared at the father's by 5 o'clock. Oh, and see these letters delivered, and set the liveries to making. And desire Gratiano coming on to my lodging.
To him, father. God bless your worship.
Gramercy, wouldst thou aught of me?
Here's my son, sir, a poor boy.
Not a poor boy, sir, but the rich Jew's man. That would, sir, as my father shall specify.
He hath a great infection, sir, to serve, as they say.
Indeed, the short and the long is, I serve the Jew and have a desire, as my father shall specify.
His master and he, saving your lord's worship, are scarce cater cousins.
To be brief, the very truth is that the Jew, having done me wrong, doth cause me, as my father being, I hope, an old man, shall fruitify unto you.
I here a dish of doves I would bestow upon your worship, and my suit as.
In very brief, the suit is impertinent to myself, as your worship shall know by this honest old man, and though I say it, though old man, yet poor man, my father
One
is...
speak for both. What would you?
Serve you, sir.
That is a very defect of the matter, sir.
Well, I know thee well. Thou hast obtained thy suit. Shylock, thy master, spoke with me this day, and hath preferred thee, if it be preferment, to leave a rich Jew's service as to become the follower of so poor a gentleman.
The old proverb is very well parted between my master Shylock and you, sir. You have the grace of God, sir, and he hath enough.
Oh, thou speak'st it well. Go, father, with thy son, to take leave of thy old master and inquire my lodging out.
Oh, father, in! I cannot get a service, no, I have ne'er a tongue in my head. Oh, father, come! I'll take my leave of the Jew in the twinkling.
Signor Bassanio!
Gratiano!
I have suit to you.
You have obtained it.
You must not deny me. I must go with you to Belmont.
Why then you must. But hear thee, Gratiano. Thou art too wild, too rude, and bold of voice. Parts that become thee happily enough, and in such eyes as ours appear not faults. Where thou art not known, why, there they show something too liberal. Pray thee take pain to allay with some cold drops of modesty thy skipping spirit, lest through thy wild behaviour I be misconstrued in the place I go to, and lose my hopes.
Signor Bassanio, hear me. If I do not put on a sober habit, talk with respect, and swear, but now and then, but wear prayer books in my pocket, look demurely, nay, more, while grace is saying, put mine eyes thus, with my hat, and sigh, and say amen, and use all observance of civility like one well studied in a sad ostent to please his grandam, never trust me more.
Well, we shall see your bearing.
Nay, but I bar tonight. You shall not gauge me by what we do tonight.
No, that were pity. I would entreat you to rather put on your boldest suit of mirth, for we have friends that purpose merriment.
Oh, and I must to Lorenzo and the rest, but we will see you at the supper time.
I'm sorry thou wilt leave my father so. Our house is hell, and thou, a merry devil, didst rob it of some taste of tediousness. But fare thee well. Here is a ducat for thee. And, Lancelot, soon thou shalt see Lorenzo, who is thy new master's guest. Give him this letter. Do it secretly. And so farewell. I would not have my father see me in talks with thee.
Adieu. Here's exhibit mine eyes, most beautiful maiden, most sweet Jew. If a Christian do not play the knave and get thee, I am much deceived. Oh, but adieu, these foolish drops do something drown my manly spirit. Adieu.
Farewell, good Lancelot. Alack, what heinous sin is it in me that I should be ashamed to be my father's child? But though I am daughter to his blood, I am not to his manners. Oh, Lorenzo, oh, if thou keep promise, I shall end this strife, become a Christian and thy loving wife.
Lorenzo!
Nay, we will slink away in supper time, disguise us at my lodging, and return all in an hour. Huh?
We have not made good preparation.
We have not spoke us yet of torchbearers.
'Tis vile, unless it may be quaintly ordered, and better in my mind not undertook.
Hey, 'tis but 4 o'clock. We have 2 hours to furnish us.
Hey, Lancelot.
Friend, Lancelot, what news?
And it shall please you to break up this, it shall seem to signify.
I know the hand. In faith, 'tis a fair hand. And whiter than the paper it writ on is the fair hand that writ.
Love news in faith.
By your leave, sir.
Well, whither goest thou?
Oh, marry, sir, to bid my old master, the Jew, to sup tonight with my new master, the Christian.
Hey.
Oh, take this. Tell fair Jessica I shall not fail her. Speak it privately. Come, gentlemen, will you prepare you for this masque tonight? I am provided of a torchbearer.
Aye, marry, I'll be gone about it straight.
And so will I.
Meet me in Gratiano at Gratiano's lodging some hour hence.
It's good we do so.
Was not that letter from fair Jessica? Hey, 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 ooh, forsooth.
I must needs tell thee all. She hath directed how I shall take her from her father's house, what gold and jewels she is furnished with, what page's suit she hath in readiness. Oh, if ever the Jew her father go to heaven, it will be for his gentle daughter's sake. And never dare misfortune cross her foot, unless she do it under this excuse, that she is issue to a faithless Jew. Come, go with me. Peruse this as thou goest. Fair Jessica shall be my torchbearer.
Thou shalt see, thy eyes shall be thy judge, the difference of old Shylock and Bassanio. What, Jessica? Thou shalt not gormandize as thou hast done with me. What, Jessica? And sleep and snore and rent apparel out? Why, Jessica, I say!
Why, Jessica!
Who bids thee call? I do not bid thee call.
Your worship was one to tell me I could do nothing without bidding.
Call you? What is your will?
I am bid for to supper, Jessica. Huh? There are my keys. Huh? Well, but wherefore should I go? I am not bid for love. They flatter me. Yet I'll go in hate to feed upon the prodigal Christian. Jessica, my girl, look to my house. I am right loth to go. There is some ill a brewing to my rest, for I did dream of money bags last night.
I beseech you, sir, go. My young master doth expect your reproach.
So do I his.
And they have conspired together. I do not say you shall see a mask.
What? Are there masks? Oh, hear you me, Jessica. Lock up my doors, huh? And when you hear the drum and the vile squealing of the wry-necked fife, clamber not you up to the casements then, nor thrust your head into the public street to gaze upon Christian fools with varnished faces. But stop my house's ears, I mean the casements. Let not the sound of shallow foppery enter my sober house. By Jacob's staff, I swear I have no mind of feasting forth tonight, but I will go. Go you before me, Sirrah, say I will come.
I will go before, sir. Mistress, look out at window for all this. There will come a Christian by, will be worth a Jew as I.
What says that fool of Hagar's offspring?
His words were, farewell, mistress. Nothing else.
The patch is kind enough, but a huge feeder. Snail slow in profit, he sleeps by day more than the wildcat. Drones hive not with me, therefore I part with him. And part with him to one, I would have him help to waste his borrowed purse. Well, Jessica, go in. Perhaps I will return immediately. Do as I bid you. Shut doors after you. Fast bind, fast find, a proverb never stale in thrifty mind.
Farewell. And if my fortune be not crossed, I have a father, and you a daughter lost.
The penthouse under which
Where are we?
This is the penthouse under which Lorenzo desired us to make stand.
His hour is almost past.
And it is marvel he outdwells his hour, for lovers ever run before the clock.
10 times faster Venus's pigeons fly to seal love's bonds new made than they are one to keep obliged faith unforfeited.
That ever holds. Who riseth from a feast with that keen appetite with which he sits down? All things that are with more spirit chased than enjoyed. And how like a younger or a prodigal the scarfed bark puts from her native bay, hugged and embraced by the strumpet wind, how like a prodigal doth she return, with over-weathered ribs and ragged sails, lean, rent, and beggared by the strumpet wind.
Here comes Lorenzo, more of this hereafter.
Sweet friends, your patience for my long abode, not I, but my affairs have made you wait. When you shall please to play the thieves for wives, I'll watch as long for you then. Approach. Here dwells my father Jew. Ho! Who's within?
Who is there? I swear I do know thy tongue.
Lorenzo, and thy love.
Lorenzo certain, and my love indeed. For who love I so much? And now who knows but you, Lorenzo, whether I am yours?
Heaven and thy thoughts are witness that thou art.
Here, catch this casement. It is worth thy pains. Oh, I am glad 'tis night and you do not look on me, for I am much ashamed of my extreme. But love is blind, and lovers cannot see the pretty follies that themselves do commit, for if they could, Cupid would blush to see me thus transformed into a boy.
Descend, for you must be my torchbearer.
Must I hold a candle to my shames? No, they are too light. Why, 'tis an offence of discovery, love, and I must be obscured.
So are you, sweet, even in the lovely garnish of a boy. But come now, the close night doth play the runaway, and we are stayed for Bassanio's feast.
I will make fast the doors and gild myself with some more ducats and be with you straight.
Now, by my hood, a gentle and no Jew.
Shrew me, but I love her heartily. For she is wise, if I can judge of her. And fair she is, if that mine eyes be true. And true she is, as she hath proved herself. And therefore for herself, wise, fair, and true shall she be constantly placed in my soul. What? Art thou come? On, gentlemen, away! Our masking mates by this time for us stay.
Who's there?
Oh, Signor Antonio!
Fie, Gratiano. Where are all the rest? 'Tis 9 o'clock. Our friends all stay for you. Now, no mask tonight. The wind has come about. Bassanio presently will go aboard. I have sent 20 out to seek for you.
And I am glad on it. I desire no more delight than to be under sail and gone tonight.
Princes and hopeful husbands-to-be, welcome to Wife or No Wife, the game where one decision determines your entire destiny. Your challenge is to determine which of these three cases contains the portrait of the delightful Portia. Is it the gold, the silver, or the lead? Make your choice and find out whether it will be wife or no wife.
Now make your choice.
The first of gold, whose this inscription bears, who chooses me shall gain what many men desire. The second, silver, which this promise carries, who chooses me shall get as much as he deserve. Third, dull lead, with warning all as blunt, who chooses me must give and hazard all he hath. Okay, how shall I know if I do choose the right?
The one of them contains my picture, Prince. If you choose that, then I'm yours withal.
Well, some god direct my judgment. Let me see. I will survey the inscriptions back again. What says the leaden casket? Who chooses me must give and hazard all he hath. Must give. For what? For lead? Hazard for lead? This casket threatens. Men that hazard all do it in hope of fair advantages. A golden mind stoops not to shows of dross. I'll then no give no hazard out to lead. Yalla, libado. What says the silver with her virgin hue? Who to this me shall get as much as he deserve. As much as he deserve. Both there, Morocco, and weigh thy value with an even hand. If thou beest ratted by the estimation, thou dost deserve enough, and yet enough may not extend so far to the lady. And yet not to be afraid of my deserving, were but a weak disabling of myself. As much as I deserve. What? That's the lady. I do in birth deserve her. In grace, in fortunes, in quality of breeding, but more than that, in love. Like in love I do deserve! What if I strayed no further, but to this here? Let me see once more the saying graved in gold. Who to this me shall gain what many men desire. What? That's the lady. All the world desire her. From the four corners of the earth they come to kiss this shrine, this mortal breathing saint. The Hyrcanian desert, then the vasty wilds of wide Arabia thou bearest now for princes to come to you, fair Portia. One of those three contains her heavenly picture. It's like that lid contains her. Toward damnation to think so base a thought. Or shall I think in silver she's immured, being 10 times undervaluated to try gold? A simple thought. Never so rich a Jim was sit in a worse than a gold. They have in England a coin that bears the figure of an angel stamped in gold, but that's unscoupled upon. But here an angel in a golden bed lies all within. Okay, deliver me the key. Here do I choose and thrive as I made.
There, take it, Prince. And if my form lies there, then I'm yours.
What have we here? A carrion death within whose empty eye a written scroll.
All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that told. Many a man his life hath sold, but my outside to behold. Gilded tombs do worms enfold. Had you been as wise as bold, young in limbs, in judgment old, your answer had not been enscrolled. Fare you well, your suit is cold.
Gold indeed, and labour lost. Then farewell heat, and welcome frost. Portia, adieu. I have too grieved a heart to take a tedious leave. Thus lose us part.
Gentle riddance. Draw the curtains, go. Let all of his complexion choose me so.
Why, man, I saw Bassanio under sail. With him is Gratiano gone along, and in their ship, I am sure Lorenzo is not.
The villain Jew with outcries raised the Duke, who then went with him to search Bassanio's ship.
He came too late, the ship was under sail. But there, the Duke was given to understand that in a gondola was seen together Lorenzo and his amorous Jessica. Besides, Antonio certified the Duke they were not with Bassanio and his ship.
I have never heard of passion so outrageous, so strange, outrageous and variable as the dog Jew did utter in the streets. Oh, my ducats! Oh, my daughter! Oh, my ducats! Fled with a Christian, my Christian ducats! Find the girl! She hath the stones, too rich and precious stones, and the jewels stolen from me by my daughter. Justice! Find the girl! She hath the stones upon her and the ducats.
Why, all the boys in Venice follow him crying, his stones, his daughter, and his ducats.
Look good, Antonio, look he keep his day, or he shall pay for this.
Mary, well remembered. I reasoned with a Frenchman yesterday who told me that in the narrow seas that part the French and the English, there miscarried a vessel richly fraught from our country. I thought upon Antonio when he told me, and wished in silence were not his.
You were best to tell Antonio what you hear, yet do not suddenly, for it may grieve him.
A kinder gentleman treads not the earth. I saw Bassanio and Antonio part. Bassanio told him he would make some speed of his return. He answered, "Do not so. Slubber not business for my sake, Bassanio, but stay the very riping of the time. And as for the Jew's bond which he hath of me, let it not enter your mind of love. Be merry, and employ your chiefest thoughts to courtship and such fairest sense of love as shall conveniently become you there." And even there, his eye being big with tear, turning his face, he put his hand behind him, and with affection wondrous sensible, he wrung Bassanio's hand, and so they parted.
I think he only loves the world for him. I pray thee, let us go and find him out, and quicken his embraced heaviness with some delight or other.
Do we so?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another round of Wife or No Wife, the game where one wrong decision could end your love life forever. And now, O Prince of Aragon, it's time to use all your wisdom and wit to discover fair Portia's portrait. Make your choice, if you dare, here on Wife or No Wife.
Behold, there stand the caskets, noble prince. If you choose that wherein I am contained, straight shall our nuptial rites be solemnized. But if you fail, without more speech, my lord, you must be gone from hence immediately.
I am enjoined by oath to observe 3 things. First,
never to unfold to anyone which casket 'twas I chose next. If I fail of the right casket, never in my life too, we were made in way of marriage. Lastly, if I do fail in fortune of my choice, immediately to leave you and be gone.
These injunctions everyone doth swear that comes to hazard for my worthless self.
And so have I addressed me. Fortune now to my heart's hope, gold, silver, and base lead. Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. You shall look fairer ere I give or hazard. What says the golden casket? Let me see. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. What many men that many may be meant by the full multitude that choose by show, but I will not choose what many men desire, because I will not jump with common spirits and rank me with their barbarous multitudes. Oh, why then to thee, thou silver treasure house, tell me again what title thou dost bear. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. And well said too, for who shall go about to cousin fortune and be honourable without the stamp of merit? Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. Oh, that estates, degrees, and offices were not derived corruptly, and that true honour were purchased by the merit of the wearer. How many then should cover that stand bare? How many be commanded that command? How much low peasantry would then be gleaned from the true seed of honour? And how much honour picked from the chaff and ruin of the times to be new varnished? Well, but to my choice. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. I will assume desert. Give me the key for this and instantly unlock my fortunes here. What's here? The portrait of a blinking idiot presenting me a schedule. How much unlike art thou to Portia? How much unlike my hopes and my deservings? Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves, eh? Did I deserve no more than a fool's head? Is that my prize? Are my deserts no better?
Or to offend and judge distinct officers and of opposed natures.
What's here?
The fire 7 times tried this, 7 times tried that judgment is that did never choose amiss. Some there be that shadows kiss, such have but a shadow's bliss. There be fools alive, herewis, silvered o'er, and so was this. Take what wife you will to bed, I will ever be your head. So begone, you are sped.
Still more fool I shall appear by the time I linger here. With one fool's head I came to woo, and now I go away with two. Sweet adieu. I'll keep my oath patiently to bear my wrath.
The candle singed the moth. Oh, these deliberate fools, when they do choose, they have the wisdom by their wit to lose.
The ancient saying is no heresy. Hanging and wiving goes by destiny.
Come, draw the curtain, Nerissa.
Where is my lady?
Here? What would my lord?
Madam, there is alighted at your gate a young Venetian, one that comes before to signify the approaching of his lord, from whom he brings sensible regrets, to wit, besides commends and courteous breath, gifts of rich value. Yet have I not seen so likely an ambassador of love. A day in April never came so sweet to show how costly summer was at hand, as this forespurrer comes before his lord.
No more, I pray thee. I am half afeard thou wilt say anon he's some kin to thee that has spent such high day wit in praising him. Come, Nerissa, for I long to see quick Cupid's post that comes so mannerly.
Sonio, Lord Love, as my will it be.
Sal. Sal! What news on the Rialto?
Why, it lives there unchecked that Antonio had the ship of rich lading wracked on the narrow seas. The good ones, I think they call the place. Very dangerous, flat, and fatal, where the carcasses of many a tall ship lie buried, as they say. If my gossip report to be an honest woman of her word.
But it is true, without any slips of prolixity or crossing the plain highway of talk, that the good Antonio, the honest Antonio, that I had a title good enough to keep his name company.
And the full stop!
Why? What? The end is he hath lost a ship.
Oh, I would it might prove to be the end of his losses.
Oh, let me say amen betimes, lest the devil cross my prayer. For here he comes in the likeness of a Jew. How now, Shylock? What news among the merchants?
You knew none so well as you of my daughter's flight.
That's certain. I, for my part, knew the tailor that made the wings she flew withal.
Oh, and Shylock, for his part, knew the bird was fledged. Then it is the complexion of them all to leave the dam.
She is damned for it.
That's certain. If the devil be her judge.
And my own flesh and blood to rebel.
Oh, out upon it, old carrion, rebels it at these years.
I say my daughter is my flesh and blood.
There is more difference between thy flesh and hers as there is between jet and ivory. More between your bloods than there is between red wine and Rhenish. But tell us, do you hear if Antonio have had any loss at sea or no?
There I have another bad match. A bankrupt, a prodigal who dares scarce show his face on the Rialto. Let him look to his bond. He was so smug upon the mark. Let him look to his bond. He was wont to call me usurer. Let him look to his bond. He was wont to lend money for a Christian courtesy. Let him look to his bond.
Why, I am sure if he forfeit, thou will not take his flesh. What's that good for?
To bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me and hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scolded my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies, and what's his reason? I am a Jew. And not a Jew eyes. Not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions, fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you in the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? By revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be? By Christian example. Why? Revenge. The villainy you teach me, I will execute, and it will go hard, but I will better the instruction.
Gentlemen, my master Antonio is at his house and desired to speak with you both.
We have been up and down to seek him.
Oh, here comes another of the tribe. A third cannot be matched unless the devil himself turn Jew.
How now, Tubal? What news from Genoa? Hast thou found my daughter?
I often came where I did hear of her, but I cannot find her.
Why, there. A diamond gone cost me 2,000 ducats in Frankfurt. The curse never fell upon our nation till now. I never felt it till now. 2,000 ducats in debt and other precious jewels. I would my daughter were hearsed at my foot and the ducats in her coffin. I would my daughter were dead at my foot and the jewels in her ear. No news of them. Why so? And I know not what's spent in the search. Wow, how loss upon loss. The thief gone with so much and so much to find the thief. And no satisfaction, no revenge, no ill luck stirring, but what lies on my shoulders. No sighs, but of my breathing, no tears, but of my shedding.
Ah, yes, but other men have ill luck too. Antonio, as I heard in Genoa...
What? Ill luck?
Hath an argosy cast away coming from Tripolis.
Thank God. Is it true?
I spoke with some of the sailors that escaped the wreck.
I thank thee, good Tubal. Good news. Heard in Genoa?
Your daughter spent in Genoa, as I heard one night, 4 ducats.
Oh, that sticks the dagger in me, Tubal. I shall never see my gold again. 4 ducats. The city. 4 ducats.
But there came divers of Antonio's creditors in my company in Venice who swear he cannot choose but break.
I'm very glad of it. I'll plague him. I'll torture him. I am glad of it.
One of them showed me a ringy head of your daughter for a monkey.
Out upon her. Thou torturest me, Tubal. It was my turquoise. I had it of Leia when I was a bachelor. I would not have given it for a wilderness of monkeys.
But Antonio is certainly undone.
Nay, that's true. That's very true. Go, Tubal, fee me an officer. Bespeak him a fortnight before. I will have the heart of him if he forfeit. For were he out of Venice, I can make what merchandise I will. Go, Tubal, meet me at our synagogue. Go, good Tubal, at our synagogue.
I pray you, tarry. Pause a day or two before you hazard, for in choosing wrong, I lose your company. Therefore forbear a while. There's something tells me, but it is not love. I would not lose you. And you know yourself, hate counsels not in such a quality. But lest you should not understand me well, and yet a maiden having no tongue but thought, I would detain you here some month or 2 before you venture for me. I could teach you how to choose right. Oh, but then I am forsworn. So will I never be. So may you miss me? But if you do, you'll make me wish a sin that I had been forsworn. Oh, beshrew your eyes. They have overlooked me and divided me. One half of me is yours and the other half yours. Mine own, I would say. But if mine, then yours, and so all yours. Oh, these naughty times puts bars between the owners and their rights, and so though yours, not yours. Prove it so. Let fortune go to hell for it, not I. I speak too long, but 'tis to appease the time, to eke it, to draw it out in length, to stay you from election.
Let me choose. For as I am, I live upon the rack.
Upon the rack, Bassanio? Then confess what treason there is mingled with your love.
None, but that ugly treason of mistrust, which makes me fear the enjoying of my love.
But I fear you speak upon the rack, where men enforced do speak anything.
Oh, promise me my life, and I'll confess the truth.
Well, then confess and live.
Confess and love had been the very sum of my confession. Happy torment, when my torturer doth teach me answers for deliverance. Would let me to my fortune in the caskets?
Away then. I am locked in one of them. If you do love me, you will find me out. Narissa and the rest stand all aloof. Let music sound while he doth make his choice. Then, if he lose, he makes a swan-like end, fading into music. That the comparison may stand more proper, my eyes shall be the stream and watery deathbed for him. He may win. And what is music then? Then music is even as the flourish when true subjects bow to a new crowned monarch, such it is as are those dulcet sounds in break of day that creep into the dreaming bridegroom's ear and summon him to marriage.
Welcome back once again to Wife or No Wife, the game of ludicrously high stakes. With only two possible outcomes, extreme elation or humiliating devastation, the question right now is, will Bassanio risk it for a chance at love? Let's find out on Wife or No Wife.
So many outward shows be least themselves. The world is still deceived with ornament. In law, what plea so tainted and corrupt, but being seasoned with a gracious voice, obscures the show of evil? In religion, what damned error, but some sober brow will bless it and approve it with a text, hiding the grossness with fair ornament. There is no vice so simple, but assumes some mark of virtue on his outward parts. How many cowards whose hearts are all as false as stairs of sand, wear yet upon their chins the beards of Hercules and frowning Mars, who inward search and have livers white as milk, and these assume but valor's excrement to render them redoubted. Look on beauty, and you shall see 'tis purchased by the weight, which therein works a miracle in nature, making them lightest that wear most of it. Thus, ornament is but the guiled shore to a most dangerous sea, the beauteous scarf veiling an Indian beauty. In a word, the seeming truth, which cunning times put on to entrap the wisest. Therefore then, gaudy gold, hard food for Midas, I will none of thee. Nor none of thee, thou pale and common drudge, tween man and man, but thou, meagre lead, which rather threatens than dost promise aught. Thy paleness moves me more than eloquence, and thus choose I. Joy be the consequence. What find I here? Fair Portia's counterfeit. What demigod hath come so near creation? Move these eyes, or whether riding on the balls of mine seem they in motion? Here are severed lips parted with sugar breath, so sweet a bar should sunder such sweet friends. Here in her hairs the painter plays the spider, and hath woven a mesh to entrap the hearts of men faster than gnats in cobwebs. Oh, but her eyes! How could he see to do them? Having made one, methinks it should have power to steal both his and leave itself unfinished. Yet look how far the substance of my praise doth wrong this shadow in underprizing it. So far this shadow doth lit behind the substance. Here's the scroll, the continent and summary of my fortune.
You that choose not by the view, chance is fair and choose is true. Since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new. If you be well pleased with this, and hold your fortune for your bliss, turn you where your lady is, and claim her with a loving kiss.
A gentle scroll! Fair lady, by your leave, I come by note to give and to receive, like one of two contending in a prize that thinks he hath done well in people's eyes. Hearing applause and universal shout, giddy in spirit, still gazing in a doubt whether those peals of praise be his or no, so thrice fair lady stand I, even so, as doubtful whether what I see be true until confirmed, signed, ratified by you.
You see me, Lord Bassanio, where I stand, such as I am. Though for myself alone, I would not be ambitious in my wish to wish myself much better, yet for you, I would be trebled 20 times myself, 1,000 times more fair, 10,000 times more rich, than only to stand high in your account, I might in virtues, beauties, livings, friends, exceed account. But the full sum of me is sum of something, which, to term in gross, is an unlessoned girl, unschooled, unpracticed. Happy in this, she is not yet so old, but she may learn. Happier than this, she is not bred so dull, but she can learn. Happiest of all is that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours to be directed as from her lord, her governor, her king. Myself and what is mine to you and yours is now converted. But now I was the lord of this fair mansion, master of my servants, queen or myself, and even now, but now, this house, these servants, and this same myself are yours, my lords. I give them with this ring. Which, when you part from, lose, or give away, let it presage the ruin of your love, and be my vantage to exclaim on you.
Madam, you have bereft me of all words. Only my blood speaks to you now in my veins. There is such confusion in my powers as after some oration fairly spoke by a beloved prince, that doth appear among the buzzing pleased multitude, where every something being blent together forms a wild of nothing, save of joy, expressed and not expressed. When this ring part from this finger, then parts life from hence. Then be bold to say Bassanio is dead.
My lord and lady, it is now our time that have stood by and seen our wishes prosper to cry, good joy, my lord and lady.
My lord Bassanio and my gentle lady, I wish you all the joy that one can wish for. I am sure that you can wish none from me. And when your honours mean to solemnize the bargain of your faith, I do beseech you, even at that time, that I may be married too.
Oh, no, with all my heart, so thou canst get a wife.
I thank your lordship, you have got me one. My eyes, my lord, can look as swift as yours. You saw the mistress, I beheld the maid. You loved, I loved. For intermission no more pertains to me, my lord, than you. Your fortune stood upon the caskets there. And so did mine too, as the matter falls. For wooing here until I sweat again, and swearing till my very roof was dry with oaths of love, at last, if promise last, I got a promise of this fair one here, to have her love, provided that your fortune attained her mistress.
Is this true, Nerissa?
It is. So you stand pleased with all.
And do you, Gratiano, mean good faith?
Yes, faith, my lord.
Our feasts shall be much honoured in your marriage.
No! But who comes here? Lorenzo and his infidel? What? And my old Venetian friend Salarino?
Lorenzo and Salarino, welcome hither. Oh, if that the youth of my new interest here hath the power to bid you welcome, by your leave, I bid my very friends and countrymen, sweet Portia, welcome.
So do I, my lord. They're entirely welcome.
Thank your worship. For my part, my lord, my purpose was not to have seen you here, but meeting Salarino by the way, he did entreat me past all saying nay to come with him along.
I did, my lord, and I have reason for it. Signor Antonio commends him to you.
Well, ere I open this letter, I pray you tell me how my good friend doth.
Not sick, unless in mind, nor well, unless in mind. His letter there will show you his estate.
Nerissa, cheer yon stranger, bid her welcome. Your hand, Salarino. What's the news from Venice? How doth that royal merchant, good Antonio? I know he will be glad of our success.
Some shrewd contents in yon same paper that steals the colour from Bassanio's cheek. Some dear friend dead, else nothing in the world could turn so much the constitution of any constant man. What? Worse and worse? With leave, Bassanio, I am half yourself, and I must freely have the half of anything that this same paper brings you.
Sweet Portia, here are a few of the unpleasantest words ever blotted paper. Gentle lady, when I did first impart my love to you, I freely told you all the wealth I had lay in my veins. I am a gentleman, but then I told you true. And yet, dear lady, rating myself at nothing, you shall see how much I was a braggart. When I told you my state was nothing, I should have told you I was worse than nothing. For, indeed, I have engaged myself to a dear friend, engaged my friend to his mere enemy to feed my means. And here is a letter, lady. The paper is the body of my friend, and every word in it a wound, gaping, issuing lifeblood. Is it true, Salarino, hath all his ventures failed? Not one hit from Tripolis, from Mexico and England, from Lisbon, Barbary, India? Not one vessel escaped the dreadful touch of merchant marring rocks?
Not one, my lord. Besides, it should appear that if he had the money to discharge the Jew, he would not take it. Never did I know a creature that did bear the shape of man so keen and greedy to confound a man. He plies the Duke at morning and at night, and he doth impeach the freedom of the state if they deny him justice. 20 merchants, the Duke himself, and magnificos of greatest port have persuaded with him, but none can drive him from the envious plea of forfeiture of justice and his bond.
When I was with him, I have heard him swear to Tubal and to Chus, his countrymen, that he would rather have Antonio's flesh than 20 times the value of the sum that he was owed. And I know, my lord, if law, authority, or power deny not, it will go hard with poor Antonio.
Is it your dear friend that is thus in trouble?
The dearest friend to me, the kindest man, the best conditioned and unwearied spirit in doing courtesies, and one in whom the ancient Roman honour more appears than any that draws breath in all Italy.
What sum owes he the Jew?
For me, 3,000 ducats.
What? No more? Oh, pay him 6,000 and deface the bond. Double 6,000 and then treble that before a friend of this description shall lose a hair through Bassanio's fault. First, go with me to church and call me wife, and then away to Venice to your friend. For never shall you lie by Portia's side with an unquiet soul. You shall have gold to pay the petty debt 20 times over, and when it is paid, bring your true friend along. My maid Nerissa and myself, meantime, will live as maids and widows. Come away, for you shall hence upon your wedding day Bid your friends welcome, show a merry cheer. Since you are dear bought, I will love you, dear. But let me hear the letter of your friend.
Sweet Bassanio, my ships have all miscarried, my creditors grow cruel. My estate is very low, my bond to the Jew is forfeit, and since in paying it, it is impossible I should live, all debts are cleared between you and I, if I might but see you at my death. Notwithstanding use your pleasure, if your love do not persuade you to come, let not my letter.
Oh, love, dispatch all business and be gone.
Since I have your good leave to go away, I will make haste, but till I come again, no bed shall e'er be guilty of my stay, nor rest be interposer twixt us twain.
Good afternoon, Liz Delaney from VNN with your afternoon news update. Just this morning in Belmont, thanks to the arrival of one Bassanio, it seems that Portia is at last off the market. Sorry, boys. Meanwhile, while Portia's ship may have finally sailed, reports say that Antonio's have not. That's right, wild weather has hampered his trade, which could spell disaster for the local merchant. Join me tonight for the full report. Good evening, welcome to VNN, I'm Liz Delaney. Dramatic scenes in our streets today as Antonio, one of our most prominent and successful merchants, was arrested. The charges relate to failing to repay a loan to Shylock the moneylender, which now requires Antonio to repay him with £1 of his own flesh. Yes, you heard right. While some witnesses say the deal was only a joke, the insatiable Shylock is pushing for an immediate trial. More on this story soon.
Jailer, look to him. Tell not me of mercy. This is the fool that lent out money gratis. Jailer, look to him.
Hear me yet, good Shylock.
I'll have my bond. Speak not against my bond. I have sworn an oath in heaven that I will have my bond. Thou callest me dog before thou hast a cause, but since I am a dog, beware my fangs. The Duke shall grant me justice. I do wonder, thou, naughty jailer, that thou art so fond to come abroad with him at his request.
I pray thee, hear me speak.
I'll have my bond. I will not hear thee speak. I'll have my bond and therefore speak no more. I'll not be made a soft and dull-eyed fool to shake the head, relent and sigh, and yield to Christian intercessors. Follow not. I'll have no speaking. I will have my bond.
It is the most impenetrable cur that ever kept with man.
Let him alone.
Why?
I'll follow him no more with bootless prayers. He seeks my life.
Antonio, that means...
His reason well I know. I have oft delivered from his forfeitures many who have at times made moan to me. Therefore he hates me.
I'm sure the Duke will never grant his forfeiture to hold.
The Duke cannot deny the course of law. For the commodity that strangers have with us here in Venice, if it be denied, will much impeach the justice of the state.
Antonio!
Since that the trade and profit of the city dependeth on all nations. Therefore go.
No!
Go! Well, these griefs and losses have so baited me that I shall hardly spare a pound of flesh tomorrow for my bloody creditor. Well, jailer, on! Pray God Bassanio come to see me pay his debt, then I care not.
Although I speak it in your presence, you have a noble and true conceit of godlike amity, which appears most strongly in bearing thus the absence of your lord. But if you knew to whom you send relief, how true a gentleman you show this honour, how dear a lover of my lord your husband, I know you would be prouder of the work than customary bounty could enforce you.
I never did repent for doing good, nor shall not now. For in companions that do converse and waste the time together, whose souls do bear an equal yoke of love, there must be needs a like proportion of lineament, of manners, and of spirit, which makes me think that this Antonio, being the bosom lover of my lord, must needs be like my lord. And if it be so, how little is the cost I have bestowed in purchasing the semblance of my soul from out the state of hellish cruelty. Oh, this comes too near the praising of myself, therefore no more of it. Oh, here are the things. Lorenzo, I commit into your hands the husbandry and manage of my house until my lord's return. For mine own part, I have toward heaven breathed a secret vow to live in prayer and contemplation, only attended by Nerissa here, until her husband and my lord's return. There is a monastery 2 miles off, and there we will abide. I do desire you not to deny this imposition, the which my love and some necessity now lays upon you.
Madam, with all my heart, I shall obey you in all fair commands.
My people do already know my mind and will acknowledge you and Jessica in place of Lord Bassanio and myself, so fare you well, till we shall meet again.
Good thoughts and happy hours attend on you.
I wish your ladyship all heart's content.
I thank you for your wish and am well pleased to wish it back on you. There you go, Jessica. Balthazar? Balthazar. Ha. Now, Balthazar, as I've ever found thee honest true, so let me find thee still. Take this same letter and use thou all the endeavour of a man in speed to Padua. Padua. See, thou render this into my cousin's hands, Dr. Bellario. Bellario. And look what notes and garments he doth give thee. Bring them, I pray thee, with imagined speed unto the traject, to the common ferry which trades to Venice. Waste no time in words, but get thee gone. I shall be there before thee.
Madam, I go with all convenient speed.
Oh. Come on, Nerissa. I have work in hand that you know not of. We'll see our husbands before they think of us.
Will they see us?
They shall, Nerissa, but in such a habit that they shall think we have accomplished with that we lack. I'll hold thee any wager when we are both accoutred like young men. I'll prove the prettier fellow of the two and wear my dagger with a braver grace and speak between the change of man and boy with a reed voice and turn 2 mincing steps into a manly stride and speak of praise like a fine bragging youth. And tell quaint lies how honourable ladies sought my love, which I denying they fell sick and died. I could not do it all. Then I'll repent and wish for all that I'd not killed them. 20 of these puny lies I'll tell that men shall swear I have discontinued school above a 12-month. I have within my mind 1,000 raw tricks of these bragging jacks, which I will practice.
What, shall we turn to men?
Why? What a question's that? Thou art near a lewd interpreter. But come, I'll tell thee all my whole device when I'm in my coach, which stays for us at the park gate, and therefore haste away, for we must measure 20 miles today.
Yes, truly. For look you, the sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. Therefore, I promise you, I fail you.
I was always plain with you, and so now I speak my agitation of the matter. Therefore, be of good cheer.
For truly I think you are damned.
There is but one hope in it that can do you any good. But that is kind of a bastard hope neither.
And what hope is that, I pray thee?
Mary, you may partly hope that your father got you not, that you are not the Jew's daughter.
That were a kind of bastard hope indeed. So the sins of my mother should be visited upon me?
Oh, truly. I fear you are damned both by father and mother. Oh, well. You are gone both ways.
I shall be saved by my husband. He hath made me a Christian.
Truly, the more to blame he. We were Christians enough before, and as many as could well live one by another. This making of Christians will raise the price of hogs. Well, if we grow all to be pork eaters, we shall not surely have a rasher on the coals for money.
I'll tell my husband, Lancelot. Here he comes.
I shall grow jealous of thee shortly, Lancelot, if you thus get my wife into corners.
Nay, you need not fear us, Lorenzo. Lancelot and I are out. He tells me flatly that there is no mercy for me in heaven because I am a Jew's daughter. And he says you are no good member of the Commonwealth, for in converting Jews to Christians, you raise the price of pork.
I think the best grace of wit will shortly turn to silence and discourse grow commendable in none only but parrots. Go in, Sirrah. Bid them prepare for dinner.
That is done, sir. They have all stomachs.
Oh, goodly Lord, what a wit snapper are you. Then bid them prepare dinner.
That is done too, sir. Only cover is the word.
Will you cover then, sir?
No, not so, sir, neither. I know my duty.
Oh, yet more quarrelling with occasion. Wilt thou give the whole wealth of thy wits in an instant? Ooh, I pray you, understand a plain man in his plain meaning. Go to thy fellows, bid them cover the table, serve out the meat, and we will come to dinner.
Well, for the table, sir, it shall be served in. And for the meat, sir, it shall be covered. And for your coming into dinner, sir, why, let it be as humours and conceits shall govern.
Oh, dear discretion, how his words are suited. The fool hath planted in his memory an army of good words, and I do know many a fool. It's that stand in better place, garnished like him, that for a tricksy word defy the matter. How cheerest thou, Jessica? And now, tell me, say thy opinion. How dost thou like Lord Bassanio's wife?
Oh, past all expressing. Oh, it is very meet the Lord Bassanio live an upright life for having such a blessing in this lady. He finds the joys of heaven here on earth, and if on earth he do not merit it, in reason he should never come to heaven. If two gods should play some heavenly match, and on the wager lay two earthly women, Portia one, there must be something else pawned with the other, for the poor, rude world hath not such a fellow.
Such a husband hast thou of me as she is for a wife.
Well, nay, you must ask my opinion first of that.
I will anon. First, let us go to dinner.
Nay, let me praise you now while I have a stomach.
No, pray thee. Let it serve for table talk. Then, howsoe'er thou speakst, amongst other things, I shall digest it.
Well, I'll set you forth.
Liz Delaney here with breaking news in Venice. Court proceedings begin today in the controversial case between merchant Antonio and moneylender Shylock. While some say it's laughable to think that the fleshly bond could hold, the melancholy merchant seems to have resigned himself to a death sentence. We cross live to the courtroom now.
That's not a thing.
Put an end to this.
What? Is Antonio here?
Ready, so please your grace.
I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void and empty of any dram of mercy.
I have heard your grace had taken great pains to qualify his rigorous course. But since he stands obstinate, and that no lawful means can carry me out of his envy's reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury, and am armed to suffer with a quietness of spirit the very tyranny and rage of his.
Go one, and call the Jew into the court.
He's ready at the door. He comes, my lord.
Make room and let him stand before our face. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadst this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of the act, and then 'tis thought thou'lt show thy mercy and remorse more strange than is thy strange apparent cruelty. And where thou now exacts the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou wilt not only loose the forfeiture, but touched with humane gentleness and love, forgive a moiety of the principal, glancing an eye on his losses that have of late so huddled on his back, enough to press a royal merchant down from but pluck commiseration of his state, from brassy bosoms and rough hearts of flint, from stubborn Turks and Tartars never trained to offices of tender courtesy. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew.
I have possessed your grace of what I purpose, and by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. You'll ask me why I rather choose to have a weight of carrion flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. I'll not answer that, but say it is my humour. Is it answered? What if my house is troubled by a rat? And I be pleased to give 10,000 ducats to have it banned? What? Are you answered yet? Some men there are love not a gaping pig. Some that are mad if they behold a cat. And others, when the bagpipe sings in the nose, cannot contain their urine. For affection masters oft affection, and sways it to the mood of what it likes or loathes. Now for your answer. As there is no firm reason to be rendered, why he cannot abide the gaping pig, why he a harmless necessary cat, why he a woolen bagpipe, but of force must yield to such inevitable shame as to offend himself, being offended. So can I give no reason, nor I will not, more than a lodged hate and a certain loathing I bear Antonio, that I follow thus a losing suit against him. Are you answered?
No, not. This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty.
I am not bound to please thee with my answers.
Do all men kill the things they do not love?
Hates any man the thing he would not kill.
Every offence is not a hate at first.
What wouldst thou have a serpent sting thee twice?
I pray you, Bassanio, think you question with the Jew. You may as well go stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bait his usual height. You may as well use question with the wolf, why he hath made the lamb bleat for the ewe. You may as well do anything most harder, seek to soften that in which is harder, his Jewish heart. Therefore make no more offers, use no further means, but with all brief and plain conveniency, let me have judgment, and the Jew his will.
For the 3,000 ducats, here is 6.
If every ducat in 6,000 ducats were in 6 parts, and every part a ducat, I would not draw them. I would have my bond.
How shalt thou hope for mercy, rendering none?
Oh, what judgment shall I dread doing no wrong? You have among you many a purchased slave, which, like your asses and your dogs and your mules, you use in abject and slavish parts, because you bought them. Shall I say to you, let them be free, marry them to your heirs. Why sweat they under burdens? You will answer, oh, the slaves are ours. So do I answer you. The pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought, 'tis mine, and I will have it. If you deny me, fire upon your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand for judgment. Answer, shall I have it?
Upon my power, I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor whom I have sent for to determine this, come today.
My lord, he stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua.
Bring us the letters. Call the messenger.
Good cheer, Antonio. What courage yet, man. The Jew shall have my flesh, bones, blood, and all. Thou shalt lose for me 1 drop of blood.
I am a tainted wether of the flock, meetest for death. The weakest fruit drops earliest to the ground, and so let me. You cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write mine epitaph.
Shh. Came you from Padua, from Bellario?
From both, my lord. Bellario greets your grace.
Why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly?
To cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt there.
Oh, not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew, thou makest thy knife keen. But no metal can know, not the hangman's axe, bear half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no prayers pierce thee?
No, none that thou hast wit enough to make.
Oh, be thou damned, inexorable dog! And for thy life let justice be accused. Thou had almost makes me waver in my faith to hold opinion with Pythagoras, that the souls of animals infuse themselves into the trunks of men. Thy currish spirit governed a wolf, who hanged for human slaughter, even from the gallows did his fell soul fleet. And whilst thou layest in thy unhallowed dam, infused itself in thee. For thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous.
Till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond, thou but offendest thy lungs to speak so loud. Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. I stand for law.
Matiano!
This letter from Bellario doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he?
He attendeth here hard by to know your answer, whether you'll admit him.
Oh, with all my heart. Some 3 or 4 of you go and give him courteous conduct to this place. Meantime, the court shall hear Bellario's letter. Your grace shall understand that at the receipt of your letter I am very sick. But in the instant that your messenger came in loving visitation was with me a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthazar. I acquainted him with the course in controversy between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We turned o'er many books together. He is furnished with my opinion, which, bettered with my own learning, the greatness whereof I cannot enough commend, comes with him at my importunity to fill up your grace's request in my stead. I beseech you, let his lack of years be no impediment to him, lack a reverend estimation, for I never knew so young a body with so old a head. I leave him to your gracious acceptance, whose trial shall better publish this commendation. You hear, the learned Bellario, what he writes. And here I take it is the young doctor come. Come you from old Bellario?
I did, my lord.
You are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court?
I am informed thoroughly of the case. Which is the merchant here and which the Jew?
Antonio and old Shylock, stand forth.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in such rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
You confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful.
Oh, on what compulsion must I? Tell me that.
Well, the quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. It is mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than the crown. His sceptre shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to war and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. And earthly power doth then show, likest gods, when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy. And that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I've spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow the strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there.
My deeds upon my head. I crave the law, the penalty, and forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Oh, yes, here I tender it for him in the court. Yea, twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I'll be bound to pay it 10 times on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. If this will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth. And I beseech your grace, rest once the law to your authority. To do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil of his will.
No, it must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. 'Twill be recorded as a precedent. Many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be.
Daniel, come to judgment. Yeah, Daniel. Oh, wise young judge, how I do honor thee.
Now, I pray you, let me look upon the bond.
Yeah, here it is. Reverend Doctor, here it is.
Well, Shylock, there's thrice thy money offered thee.
An oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why, this bond is forfeit, and lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful. Take thrice thy money. Bid me tear the bond.
When it is paid, according to the tenor. It doth appear you are a worthy judge, you know the law, your exposition hath been most sound. A judge, you by the law whereof you are a well-deserving pillar, proceed to judgment. By my soul, I swear there is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. I stay here upon my bond.
Most heartily, I do beseech the court to give the judgment.
Why then thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
Oh, noble judge, oh, excellent young man.
The intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty which here appeareth due upon the bond.
It is very true, oh wise and upright judge. How much more elder art thou than thy looks?
Therefore lay bare your bosom.
Aye, his breast, so says the bond, doth it not, noble judge? Nearest the heart, those are the very words.
It is so. Are there balance here to weigh the flesh?
I have them here ready.
Have by some surgeon Shylock on your charge to stop his wounds lest he do bleed to death.
Is it so nominated in the bond?
It is not so expressed, but what of that? What good you do so much for charity?
I cannot find it. It is not in the bond.
You, merchant, have you anything to say?
But little. I am armed, well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare ye well. Grieve not that I am fallen to this for you. For herein fortune shows herself more kind than is her custom. But it's still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth, to look with hollow eye and wrinkled brow upon an age of poverty, from which lingering penance of such misery doth she cut me off. Oh, commend me to your honorable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say how I loved you. Speak me fair in death, and when the tale is told, bid her be judge whether Bassanio had not once a love. Repent but you that you shall lose your friend, and he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I'll pay it instantly. With all my heart.
Antonio, I'm married to a wife which is as dear to me as life itself, but life itself, my wife, and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all, I sacrifice them all here to this devil to release you.
Your wife would give you little thanks for that if she will bide to hear you make the opera.
I have a wife who I protest I love. I would she were in heaven, so she could entreat some power yet upon this currish Jew.
'Tis well you offer it behind her back, the wish would make else an unquiet house.
We trifle time, I pray thee pursue sentence.
A pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine, the court awards it and the law doth give it.
Most rightful judge.
Cut the flesh from off his breast, the law allows it and the court awards it.
Aha, most learned judge, a sentence. Come, prepare!
But tarry little, there is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words are expressly a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting of it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice.
Oh, upright Judge Mark Jew. Oh, learned judge.
Is that the law?
Myself shalt see the act. For as thou urgest justice, be assured thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
Oh, learned judge. Mark Jew, a learned judge.
I take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go.
Here is the money.
Soft. The Jew shall have all justice. Soft, no haste. He shall have nothing but the penalty.
Oh, Jew, an upright judge, a learned judge.
Therefore prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less nor more, but just a pound of flesh. If thou takes more or less than a just pound, be it but so much as makes it light or heavy in the substance or the division of the 20th part of a poor scruple. Nay, if the scale do turn within the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscate.
A second Daniel, a Daniel Jew. Now, infidel, I have you on the hip.
Why doth the Jew pause? Take thy forfeiture.
Give me my principal and let me go.
I have it ready for thee. Here it is.
He hath refused it in the open court. He shall have merely his justice and his bond.
Daniel, still I say, a second Daniel. I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me that word.
Shall I not barely have my principal?
Thou shalt have nothing but their forfeiture to be so taken at thy peril, Jew.
Why then the devil give him good of it, I'll stay no longer question.
Tarry, Jew. The law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien, that by direct or indirect attempts he seek the life of any citizen, the party against the which he doth contrive shall seize 1/2 his goods. The other half comes to the privy coffer of the state, and the offender's life lies in the mercy of the Duke only against all other voice, in which predicament I say thou standst. For it appears by manifest proceeding that indirectly and directly too, thou hast contrived against the very life of the defendant, and thou hast incurred the danger formerly by me rehearsed. Down, therefore, and beg mercy of the Duke.
That thou shalt see the difference of our spirit, I pardon thee thy life before thou ask for it. For half thy wealth, it is Antonio's. The other half comes to the general state, which humbleness may drive unto a fine.
Nay, take my life and all. Pardon not that. You take my house when you do take the profit that sustain my house. You take my life when you take the means whereby I live.
What mercy can you render him, Antonio?
Alter gratis, nothing else for God's sake.
So praised my lord the Duke and all the court, to quit the fine for half of all his goods I am content. So he let me have the other half in use to render upon his death unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. 2 things provided more, that for this favor he presently become a Christian. The other, that he do provide a gift here in the court of all he dies possessed unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter.
He shall do this, or else I do recant the pardon that I late pronounced here.
Art thou contented, Jew? What dost thou say? What dost thou say?
I am content.
Clerk Georgie the Fifth.
I pray you, give me leave to go from hence. I'm not well. Send the deed after me, and I will sign it.
Get thee gone, but do it. Sir, I entreat you home with me to dinner.
Oh, I humbly do desire your grace of pardon. I must away this night toward Padua, and it is meet I presently set forth.
Oh, I am sorry that your leisure serves you not. Antonio, gratify this gentleman, for in my mind you are much bound to him.
Most worthy gentlemen, I and my friend have, by your wisdom, been this day acquitted of grievous penalties. In lieu whereof 3,000 ducats due unto the Jew, we freely cope to your courteous pains withal.
And stand indebted over and above in love and service to you evermore.
He is well paid that is well satisfied, and I, delivering you, am satisfied, and therein do account myself well paid. My mind was never yet more mercenary. I pray you, know me when we meet again. I wish you well, so I take my leave.
Dear sir, of course I must attempt you further. Take some remembrance of us as a tribute, not as fee. Grant me 2 things, I pray you, not to deny me and to pardon me.
You press me far, and therefore I will yield. For your love, I'll take this ring. Do not draw back your hand, I'll take no more. And you in love shall not deny me this.
This ring, good sir, alas, it is a trifle. I'll not shame myself to give you this.
Well, I have nothing else but only this, and now methinks I have a mind to it.
There's more depends on this than the value. The dearest ring in all Venice will I give you, and find it out by proclamation. Only for this, I pray you pardon me.
I see, sir. You are liberal in offers. You taught me first to beg, and now methinks you teach me how a beggar should be answered.
Good sir, this ring was given me by my wife, and when she put it on, she made me vow that I should neither sell, nor give, nor lose it.
That excuse serves many, many men to save their gifts. And if your wife be not a madwoman and know how well I have deserved this ring, she would not hold out enemy forever for giving it to me. Well, peace be with you.
I pray you, Bassanio, let him have the ring. Or let his deservings and my love withal be valued against your wife's commandment.
Go, Gratiano, run and overtake him. Give him the ring and bring him, if thou canst, unto Antonio's house. Away, make haste.
Oh.
Come. You and I will thither presently, and in the morning early we will both fly toward Belmont. Come, Antonio.
Inquire the Jew's house out, give him this deed, and let him sign it. We'll away tonight and be a day before our husband's home. This deed will be well welcome to Lorenzo.
First, you are well o'ertaken. My lord Bassanio, upon more advice, hath sent you here this ring, and doth entreat your company at dinner.
Well, that cannot be. His ring I do accept most thankfully, and so I pray you tell him. Furthermore, I pray you show my youth old Shylock's house.
Now I would speak with you. I'll see if I can get my husband's ring, which I did make him swear to keep forever.
How amazed, I warrant. We should have old swearing that they did give their rings away to men. We'll outface them and outswear them too.
Away, make haste. Thou knowest where I will tarry.
Come, good sir, will you show me to this house?
The moon shines bright. In such a night as this, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, and they did make no noise. In such a night did, methinks, Troilus mounted the Trojan walls, and sighed his soul toward the Grecian tents where Cressid lay that night.
In such a night did Thisbe fearfully outtrip the Jew, and saw the lion's shadow air himself, and ran, dismayed away.
In such a night stood Dido, with a willow in her hand upon the wild sea bank, and waft her love to come again to Carthage.
In such a night Medea gathered the enchanted herbs that did renew old Aegean.
In such a night did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew, with an unthrift love did run from Venice as far as Belmont.
In such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her soul with many vows of faith, but ne'er a true one.
In such a night did pretty Jessica, like a little shrew, slander her love, and he forgave it her.
I would outnight you did nobody come. But hark, I hear the footing of a man.
Who comes so fast in silence of the night?
A friend.
A friend? What friend? Your name, I pray you, friend?
Stefano is my name, and I bring word that my mistress will, before the break of day, be here at Belmont. She doth stray about by holy crosses where she kneels and prays for happy wedlock hours.
Who comes with her?
None but a holy hermit and her maid. I pray you, is my master yet returned?
He is not, nor we have not yet heard from him. But go we in, I pray thee, Jessica, and ceremoniously let us prepare some welcome for the mistress of the house.
Salah! Salah! Whoa-ho-ho! Salah! Salah!
Who calls?
Salah! Hey, did you see Master Lorenzo? Master Lorenzo! Salah! Salah!
Leave hollering, man. Here.
Salah! Where? Where?
Here.
Tell him there's a horn come from my master with his horn full of good news. My master will be here ere morning, sweet soul.
Let's in, and there expect their coming. And yet, no matter, why should we go in? Stefano, my friend, signify, I pray you, within the house your mistress is at hand, and bring forth your music into the air. How sweet the moonlight sleeps upon this bank. Here will we sit and let the sweet sound of music creep in our ears. Soft stillness and the night become the touches of sweet harmony. Look how the floor of heaven is thick inlaid with patterns of bright gold. There's not the smallest orb which thou beholdst, but in his motion like an angel sings, still choiring to the young-eyed cherubims. Such harmony is in immortal souls, but whilst this muddy vesture of decay doth grossly close it in, we cannot hear it. Come, ho, wake Diana with a hymn. With sweetest touches pierce your mistress's ear, and draw her home with music.
You that choose not but of you, chance as fair and choose as true. Since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new.
Oh, I'm never merry when I hear sweet music.
The reason is your spirits are attentive. For do but note a wild and wanton herd or race of youthful and unhandled colts, fetching mad bounds, bellowing and neighing, which is the hot condition of their blood. If they do but hear the chance a trumpet sound or any air of sweet music touch their ears, you shall perceive them make a mutual stand. Their savage eyes turn to a modest gaze by the sweet power of music. Therefore the poet did feign that Orpheus drew trees, stones, and floods, since naught so stockish and full of rage. But music for the time doth change his nature. The man that hath no music in him, nor is not moved by a concord of sweet sounds, is fit for treasons, stratagems, and spoils. The motion of his spirits are as dull as night, and his affections dark as Erebus. Let no such man be trusted. Mark the music.
Light we see is burning in my hall. How far that little candle throws his beams. So shines a good deed in a naughty world.
Moonshine, we did not see the candle.
So doth the greater glory dim the less. A substitute shines brightly as a king until a king be by, and then his state empties itself as doth an inland brook into the main of waters. Music, hark!
It is your music, madam, of the house?
Oh, nothing is good I see without respect. Methinks it sounds much sweeter than by day.
Oh, silence bestows that virtue on it, madam.
Well, the crow doth sing as sweetly as the lark when neither is attended, and I think the nightingale, if she should sing by day when every goose is cackling, would be thought no better a musician than the wren. How many things by seasons seasoned are to their right praise and true perfection. Peace, how the moon sleeps with Endymion and would not be awaked.
That is the voice, or I'm much deceived, of Portia.
Knows me as the blind man knows the cuckoo by my bad voice.
Dear lady, welcome home.
We've been praying for our husband's welfare, which speed we hope the better for our words. Are they returned?
Madam, they are not yet, but there is come a messenger before to signify their coming.
Go in, Nerissa, give order to my servants. They take no note at all of our being absent hence, nor you, Lorenzo, Jessica, nor you.
Your husband is at hand. I hear his trumpet. We are no telltales, madam. Fear you not.
This night, methinks, is but the daylight sick. Looks a little paler. 'Tis a day such as the day is when the sun is hid.
We should hold day with the Antipodes, if you would walk in absence of the sun.
Oh, let me give light, but let me not be light, for a light wife doth make a heavy husband, and never be Bassanio so for me. But God sort all, you are welcome home, my lord.
I thank you, madam. Give welcome to my friend. This is the man. This is Antonio, to whom I am so infinitely bound.
You should in all sense be much bound to him, for as I hear, he was much bound for you.
No more than I am well acquitted of.
Sir, you are very welcome to our house. It must appear in other ways than words, therefore I scant this breathing courtesy.
By yonder moon, I swear you do me wrong. In faith, I gave it to the judge's clerk, and would he were guilt that had it for my part, since you do take it, love, so much at heart.
Quarrel her already. What's the matter?
About a hoop of gold, a paltry ring that she did give me, whose posy was for all the world, like Cutler's poetry upon the knife, love me and leave me not.
What talk you of the posy or the value? You swore to me when I did give it you that you would wear it till your hour of death, that it should lie with you in your grave. If not for me, yet for your vehement oaths, you should have been respective and have kept it. Gave it a judge's clerk. Why, no, God's my judge. That clerk shall ne'er wear hair on his face that had it.
Well, he will, and if he live to be a man.
Aye, if a woman live to be a man.
Oh, now, by this hand, I gave it to a youth, a kind of boy, a little scrapped boy, no higher than thyself, the judge's clerk, a prating boy that begged it as a fee. I could not from my heart deny him.
You were to blame, I must be plain with you, to part so slightly with your wife's first gift, a thing stuck on with oaths upon your finger, and so riveted with faith unto your flesh. I gave my love a ring and made him swear never to part with it, and here he stands. I dare be sworn for him he would not leave it, nor pluck it from his finger for the wealth that the world masters. Now in faith, Gratiano, you give your wife too unkind a cause of grief, and 'twere to me I should be mad at it.
Well, I were best to cut my left hand off, and swore I lost the ring defending it.
My lord Bassanio gave his ring away unto the judge that begged it, and indeed deserved it too. And then the boy, his clerk, that took some pains in writing, he begged mine, and neither man nor master would take aught but the 2 rings.
What ring gave you, my lord? Not that I hope which you received of me.
If I could add a lie unto a fault, I would deny it. But you see, my finger hath not the ring upon it. It is gone.
Even so void is your false heart of truth. By heaven, I will ne'er come in your bed until I see the ring.
Nor I in yours till I again see mine.
Sweet Portia, if you did know to whom I gave the ring, if you did know for whom I gave the ring, and would conceive of what I gave the ring and how unwillingly I left the ring when naught would be accepted but the ring, you would abate the strength of your displeasure.
You had known the virtue of the ring, or half her worthiness that gave the ring, or your own honour to contain the ring, you would not then have parted with the ring. What man is there so much unreasonable if you had pleased to have defended it with any terms of zeal, wanted the modesty to urge the thing held as a ceremony? Nerissa teaches me what to believe. I'll die for it, but some woman had the ring.
No, by my honour, madam, by my soul, no woman had it, but a civil doctor, which did refuse 3,000 ducats of me and beg the ring, the which I did deny him and suffered him to go displeased away, but he that had held up the very life of my dear friend. What should I say, sweet lady? I was enforced to send it after him. I was beset with shame and courtesy. My honour would not let ingratitude so much besmear it. Pardon me, good lady, but by these blessed candles of the night, had you been there, I think you would have begged the ring of me to give the worthy doctor.
Let not that doctor e'er come near my house. Since he hath got the jewel that I loved, and that which you did swear to keep for me, I will become as liberal as you. I'll not deny him anything I have. No, not my body, nor my husband's bed.
Ooh.
Know him I shall. I am well sure of it. Lie not a night from home. Watch me like Argus. If you do not, if I be left alone, now, by mine honour, which is yet mine own, I'll have that doctor for my bedfellow.
And I, his clerk, therefore be well advised how you do leave me to my own protection.
Well, do you so? Let not me take him then, for if I do, I'll mar the young clerk's pen.
I am the unhappy subject of these quarrels.
Oh, sir, grieve not you, you are welcome notwithstanding.
Portia, forgive me this enforced wrong. And in the hearing of these many friends, I swear to thee, even by thine own fair eyes, in which I see myself.
Not give it that. In both my eyes he doubly sees himself. In each eye one. Swear by your double self, and there's an oath of credit.
Nay, but hear me, pardon this fault, and by my soul I swear, I never more will break an oath with thee.
I once did lend my body for his wealth, which, but for him that had your husband's ring, had quite miscarried. I dare be bound again. My soul upon the forfeit, your lord will never more break faith advisedly.
Then you shall be his surety. Give him this. And bid him keep it better than the other.
I pray you, Bassanio, swear to keep this ring.
By heaven, this is the same I gave the doctor.
I had it of him. Pardon me, Bassanio, for by this ring, the doctor lay with me.
And pardon me, my gentle Gratiano, for that same scrubbed boy, the doctor's clerk, in lieu of this, last night did lie with me.
Why, this is like the mending of the highways in summer, when the ways are fair enough. What, are we cuckolds that we have deserved it?
Speak not so grossly, you're all amazed. Here is a letter. Read it at your leisure. It comes from Padua, from Bellario. And there you shall find that Portia was the doctor, Larissa there her clerk, Lorenzo here shall witness, I set forth as soon as you, and even but now returned, I have not yet entered my house. Antonio, you are welcome, and I have better news in store for you than you expect. Unseal this letter soon. There you shall find 3 of your argosies are richly come to harbour suddenly. You shall not know by what strange accident I chanced it on this letter.
I'm dumb.
Were you the doctor and I knew you not?
You the clerk that is to make me cuckold.
Aye, but the clerk that never means to do it. Unless you live till he be a man.
Sweet doctor, you shall be my bedfellow. When I am absent, then lie with my wife.
Sweet lady, you have given me life and living. Here I read for certain that my ships are safely come to road.
How now, Lorenzo? My clerk had some good comforts too for you.
Aye, and I'll give them him without a fee. There do I give to you and Jessica from the rich Jew a special deed of gift. After he dies, all that he dies possessed of.
Sweet ladies, you throw manna in the way of starved people.
It is almost morning, and yet I'm sure you're not satisfied of these events at full. Let us go in and charge us thereupon interrogatories, and we will answer all things faithfully.
Let it be so. The first interrogatory that my Nerissa shall be sworn on is whether till the next night she had rather stay or go to bed now, being 2 hours till day. But were the day come, I should wish it dark, till I were couching with the doctor's clerk. Well, while I live, I'll fear no other thing. So Sora's keeping safe Nerissa's ring.
All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that told. Many a man his life hath sold, but my outside to behold. Gilded tubes to worms and fold. Fare you well, your suit is cold.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please thank our wonderful cast. As Shylock, Geoff Sirmai. Best friends Bassanio and Antonio, Jamie Collette and Haki Pepo Olu Crisden. Our Belmont ladies, Jess Loudon as Portia and Holly Champion as Nerissa. And those wild friends Gratiano, Salarino and Solanio, Adrienne White, Jackie Greenfield and Samantha Windsor. And Lorenzo and his amorous Jessica, Jim Southwell and Kiara Osborne. The lovable Lancelot and Old Gobbo, Kim Jones and Susan Jordan. And Meredith O'Reilly as our gracious Duke. And of course our unforgettable princes Aragon and Morocco, Jesse Trump and Adib Razouk. And our wonderful team behind the scenes, our technical director Tom Burt, our technical assistant Charlotte Wiltshire, and our stage manager Alexis Worthing. And our director Roslyn Hicks, also known as Liz Delaney, your Venice Nightly newsreader. Thanks for watching. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show, everyone. Our next show is coming on the 16th to the 18th of October. It's Richard III, directed by our very own Bassanio, Jamie Collette, with an all-star cast including our own Jess Loudon and Kiara Osborne, and Ben Barber and Charles Mayer as Richard. So head to streamedshakespeare.com to view all of our past shows, and we look forward to seeing you again in October. Bye, everyone.